Hello everybody and welcome. Today I want to quickly discuss about the new Fallout 4 DLC Automatron. Now this is still fresh and I beat it fairly quickly. I mean it's DLC, it's not going to be that long. And I actually found myself enjoying it but also questioning how I'm starting to notice there's a slight change on how this DLC is compared to all the other DLCs we've gotten before in past Fallouts. So I will be covering a lot of other topics within this DLC, but I will try to specifically just focus on the DLC and not Fallout as a whole, but how this DLC, Automatron, will possibly be tied into another DLC. When we first heard of this DLC, we already kind of knew from the start that we were going to stay within the Commonwealth. From the start, it kind of told us that evil robots are being basically released into the Commonwealth, and you kind of had to hunt them down, the RoboBrains, and that was basically it. Now, when I first heard this, I wasn't that impressed at all. Like, I actually really didn't, quite frankly, I didn't give a shit. And, and I didn't think anything bad about the DLC. I just wasn't, I wasn't super hyped for this DLC, though. However, I did end up liking the DLC a lot in the end. One of the things that it finally gave us was all these modifications that we finally are now able to get to build a robot. Now, when I first played this, you kind of don't get that feeling right away because when you start off the DLC, it starts off feeling more of a side mission than a downloadable content. And when I say that, I mean, when you get a DLC, sometimes you can just feel that it's a DLC because it feels kind of just thrown in there. It doesn't go very smooth with the story. You kind of just know that you're in a DLC from the start. It feels different. It feels almost a little out of place, but that isn't a bad thing. But you just know it's a DLC. With Automatron, I felt like I was playing more of an added side mission, and maybe that's a good thing. I felt that because it flowed very smooth with the story, and maybe it helped that we did not have like a map or anything. It was just the Commonwealth. It didn't take us anywhere new or anywhere different. So I think that had a big impact of itself, that it made it feel more of a side story. But this is also kind of where I'm a little disappointed in the DLC, because the little story that's kind of supposed to go with it, it was kind of boring. It wasn't really there. To be honest, the DLC is really fun for story mode only if you kind of have the Silver Shroud outfit. If you have the outfit and you decide to kind of play as a Silver Shroud, it's actually pretty fucking funny and stupid at the same time, honestly. Because especially when you meet the Mechanists, you guys are basically like your stereotypical geeky fucking nerds at like a goddamn Comic-Con who are like really into their character, but yet you can't really act that great of a character, and so you're just kind of like, oh, it's amazing though. I actually had a lot of fun playing as a Silver Shroud within this DLC. Now, I didn't do it on purpose because I didn't know about this. I don't know why the hell I didn't fucking think about being the Silver Shroud on purpose, because the Mechanist is obviously a reference to the past in Fallout before the war. And so for some reason that didn't click with me. However, I just happened to have the outfit within meeting the Mechanist, and it kind of brings out the dialogue a little bit more fun, in my opinion. So if you want to play it a little bit silly, using the Silver Shroud outfit is one way of doing it. And so other than that, there wasn't really a story at all. But I think the little that they did give us was a bit fair with all the other stuff that came with it. Now, when by other stuff, I'm talking about the mods. They give us a lot of mods. They give us the armor, limbs, abilities, some new weapons, some like the armor for your character along with, robots, including the lightning chain gun. Yeah. What I'm basically saying is they kind of gave us a good amount of stuff, and I think this DLC is pretty much worth it. It's worth the price you pay if only if you are into modding and building and being that kind of player in Fallout. If not, I think you're going to feel like you're going to get like the short end of the stick here, because this DLC is really for those who want to build robots, who want to modify your own robots, who want to create more robots. I did create another robot within this game just for the fun of it, just to see what I can do. I didn't mod too much because I'm one of those players to where I don't do a lot of modding in my Fallout. Maybe I'm just still not used to this idea that I get to do it a lot of this in Fallout now, because in the previous Fallouts we didn't really have this many options, and I'm so used to the preset default weapons that you can collect and get, that now that that you have to pretty much fucking build everything on your own, it's still an awkward shift for me. So I'm still adapting to that as, myself. However, I'm not in no way trashing this DLC because it's not my personal taste. No, this DLC is actually really well developed and really well put together. And even though I'm not really into the modding, I still found myself messing around and seeing my options for the robots. And it was a lot of fucking fun, honestly. I was really glad that I did get this DLC. I did have the season pass. And after looking at the other possible DLCs coming out, I kind of realized that I think that they're going to be very smart about what they're doing, and they're going to implement some of the DLCs together. So there's going to be like this very loose tie-in to where it actually would make sense to own the season pass. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, this April 2016, we're going to get the Wasteland Workshop. Now, the Wasteland Workshop is basically you get to design and set cages to capture live creatures from raiders to deathclaws. So you basically get to capture shit. And you get to tame these creatures or people, and you basically have a fucking battle against them. Now, this sounds something small. Sounds like a small arena you get to build. But then I realized after kind of looking more into this that you can also use your settlers to participate, and you can have robots from this DLC, the Automatron. You can have them as your settlers. So with that being said, you can basically build your own fucking robots, and with this new other DLC coming out, then you can kind of tie it in together. Maybe you can take these robots to this battle arena, build your own fucking robot and then use them to battle for caps and shit. That's really kind of fucking cool if you ask me. But I feel like it's going to be based off like that fucking shitty ass movie that sucked with the robots and the boxing. Yeah, no, I feel like this is going to be way better though. I feel that with this you get to really have a good opportunity to still use this DLC of the Automatron into later events. And so that's kind of why I'm really hyped for what they're creating, because I can kind of see these DLCs kind of slowly tying into each other. Unlike Far Harbor, which is the one I was really most hyped for and the one I'm still more excited for, because that's a completely different thing to where I don't want to get too much for it, but that was a DLC I'm like really want and really waiting for. But I did find myself truly enjoying Automatron. Even though I feel like I got the short end of the story mode. I didn't really get much of a story. We do get another settlement area, so that was alright. And then you also get another character. I actually get characters. You do get Jezebel, Ada, and you also get the Mechanist. I kind of don't want to say their name right now, but you do get another. You can also get Mechanists depending on how you go about the game. Of course, you can always just fucking kill whoever the hell you want. It's Fallout. You have that freedom too, which is nice. But the option is there. And so Automatron is a damn cool DLC. The mods are great. Story is at the most. It's but it is worth the penny. It does come with a lot of good shit. And I think it's even worth more if you're really into modding. And getting all fucking creative and cool with all the outfits and all the, robots you get to make. I think I think everyone will have a blast with this DLC. It was pretty damn smooth, and it was nice that they also, even though they kept in the Commonwealth, it was nice that they also did that, because you had easy access to, all your other equipment and, your characters' allies. Unlike when you do like the past Fallout DLCs, when you go to like a different location, like I'm gonna go back all the way to the pit with 3. You're in a whole nother location, and you couldn't really leave until you can leave the area basically until you're fucking done with that DLC. And it was pretty much with a bunch of other the games like that for it. But, that wasn't a bad thing, but it just sucked when you would, okay, I got everything, and then you play the DLC, and then halfway through it, you're just like, oh shit, I wish I had this gun, or oh shit, I wish I had this, like, I don't know, my hat or my sunglasses, because I'm just like a few charisma points short, or whatever the fuck it is, and you don't have access to your equipment while, because this DLC takes place within the Commonwealth, you are able to gain still access to the things that you still want and still need, which is good. However, I think it is definitely worth a buy if you haven't bought it yet. If you're just in it for the story, it may not be the best buy, but if you're just interested at all, even the slightest interested in modding and building your own robot, this is fucking it. This is a good DLC. With all of that being said, what did you guys think? Did you guys hate it, like it, just didn't really give a shit about it? Overall, I really did enjoy the DLC, and I do plan on getting all the other Fallout DLCs. So tell me in the comments of what you guys think about this Automatron DLC, because many of us, I think, were impressed by it. But honestly, nitpick this game. I'm very curious to see how everyone thinks this stands up against all the other DLCs that has been out before, because we just fucking, for some reason, just love to compare these DLCs together, because I think we have such high standards for Fallout now that even the slightest missteps we seem to catch. So thank you guys for listening, and have a great day.